You ever have that feeling where something is just off? You feel confused, you're constantly second-guessing yourself, but you can't for the life of you figure out why. It's this really dizzying feeling, almost like you're trying to walk through a maze, but the walls keep moving. One day, everything is fantastic. The next, you're met with this wall of coldness or criticism, and you're left scrambling, trying to figure out what rule you broke. You're always on shaky ground, just trying to get your footing in a dynamic that never seems to make sense.
Well, here's the thing. That feeling of being lost, it's usually not an accident. More often than not, it's the result of a very specific and very repeatable pattern of behaviors. It's like a hidden script or a playbook designed to keep you feeling exactly that way, off balance.
And that's what we're going to do in this explainer. We're going to pull back the curtain on that playbook. Because once you recognize these behaviors aren't just weird quirks, but actual tactics, you can start to demystify the whole thing and honestly reclaim your own sense of reality.
So let's break down 5 of the most common and most powerful tactics from this playbook. Just seeing them laid out like this can be a total game changer because it's the first step to spotting them when they happen.
First up, we have something called intermittent reinforcement. This is that classic hot and cold treatment. 1 minute, someone is showering you with praise and affection, and then bam, out of nowhere, it's gone. They turn distant, critical, just cold. You truly never know which version of them you're going to get.
And this quote right here, it just nails the trap. It's that unpredictability that makes the affection so addictive. It's the exact same psychological hook that makes slot machines work. You keep pulling the lever, totally convinced that the next one will be the big payout. And that hope, that possibility, is what keeps you chained to the machine.
Next on the list, moving the goalposts. This is when someone sets a target for you, but the second you get close to hitting it, the target suddenly moves. You do exactly what they asked for, only to be told, well, that's not quite enough, or actually, I wanted something totally different. And this shows the difference perfectly. In a healthy situation, the rules are clear. You know what's expected. But with this tactic, the target is designed to be unreachable. See, the goal isn't for you to win. The goal is to keep you running, to keep you trying until your confidence is so worn down that you start to believe you're the problem.
All right, let's talk about a tactic that really plays on our hopes: future faking. This is when someone paints this incredibly vivid, detailed picture of a future with you. They'll talk about the trips you'll take, the house you'll build, all the dreams you're going to share. It feels so real, like a solid promise.
But here's the crucial part. These aren't real plans. They're tools. Tools for control in the here and now. By getting you so emotionally invested in a future that's never going to arrive, they can get you to put up with all sorts of terrible behavior today. It keeps you right where they want you.
Okay, this next one is so common. Weaponized incompetence. You know this one. It's when someone acts like they're just completely incapable of doing a task. They mess it up so badly, so consistently, that you finally just give up in frustration and do it yourself.
And this lays out exactly how they train you. First, they try to help, and they fail, miserably. Then you realize that redoing their terrible work is actually more exhausting than just doing it right the first time. So what happens? You give up. You stop asking. And voila, they've successfully dodged all responsibility for that task forever.
And finally, we have a real mind twister: victim reversal. This is a crazy-making move where you try to talk about a real hurt, something they did to you, and somehow, by the end of it, they're the one who's the victim. Your pain has somehow become their persecution.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? You walk into a conversation needing an apology, and you walk out of it giving one. They use your own empathy as a weapon against you, flipping the script so completely that your original point is totally lost. You learn that speaking up about your pain is selfish because it hurts them.
So, we've looked at 5 very different tactics, right? Unpredictable rewards, impossible standards, fake promises, phony incompetence, and flipped blame. What on earth do these all have in common?
Even though they can look so different in practice, they're all arrows pointing in the exact same direction. They're all different plays from the same playbook.
And that playbook is about one thing, and one thing only: control. That's it. The #1 goal of every single one of these tactics is to establish and maintain control over your emotions, your actions, and ultimately your reality.
And the effects of being under that kind of control are absolutely devastating. It's designed to make you doubt your own mind. It chips away at your confidence, twists your sense of what's real, and creates a dependency that feels impossible to escape. It silences you.
So, what do you do with all this? Now that you can see the moves in the playbook, what's next? Well, it all starts with a really simple but really powerful shift in your focus.
Look, the point of all this isn't to go around diagnosing other people. The real power here is to use this knowledge as a tool for yourself. It's about giving yourself permission to finally trust that gut feeling that has been telling you something is wrong, even when you couldn't put a name to it.
This right here gets to the absolute heart of it. The long-term damage of manipulation is that it makes you feel like your own reality is up for debate. But recognizing the playbook helps you see that your reality was never the problem. The problem was the person trying to rewrite it for you. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Knowing all this is a huge first step. But the real journey is about taking your own story back. Now that you can see the script, how will you choose to trust your own?